squad. So as you can see, we are in the basement. I wasn't able to get a video loaded up on the computer for us to review. So for this, we're going to do a brief Patreon stream together with the research crew. What up, Jane? What up, SJ Lens? Siri, what's up, Siri? Sandy Wolflet, what's up, Sandy? Owen, Deblet, what's up, everybody? So we're back in the basement. The basement is chill AF. Guys, I don't know what it is about the basement, but compared to upstairs, like, the basement is super chill. Super ultra chill. What up, y'all? So I did bring the Olympus. I have a feeling this recorder with the modification is going to be key to figuring out some stuff. Also, I figured out what's been wrong with it. I'm going to see if I can fix it real quick. Oh, wrong one. There we go. The spring mechanism has come out from the top. There we go. Just put it in like that. Maybe. Hold it while we put it in here. Ha ha! And it is fixed. Alright. What time is it? A little after 9. Will it let me? What the heck? I'll say it's 9:07. Oh. And it is. Alright. Boom. Alright, I feel like this will hold the key to figuring out some stuff. Those of y'all who have been with me from early on know that some of the absolute craziest communication sessions were done on this recorder with and without the modification. It just takes a certain type of ear to really hear everything. Christy, what's up, Christy? Shannon, hey Shannon. I've missed y'all. Yeah, guys, I don't know what exactly has been going on here at the house and with me, but I was retracing my steps through my calendar, through all the investigations, through all the traveling, through all the different live streams, and it really all went downhill after that Saturday evidence review. The day before that was the Ross Opera House investigation, and the day before that was the Thursday stream that we did in the office where we got the insane communication. Absolutely insane communication. Dawn Searching Truth, what's up, Dawn? So, Thursday we had crazy communication in the office, like super direct, super intelligent, just blow my mind communication. Then Friday, Ross Opera House, which they mentioned Ross on the Thursday stream. And then Saturday, we had that evidence review stream. And then after that is when it all kind of went downhill for me. So I just been retracing my steps, trying to pinpoint what, when, where, why. You know what I mean? Trying to work it out. I got a lot of stuff coming up, so I really need to get it figured out real quick. So for this session, what I'm going to do, instead of calling on spirits, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call on our spirit guides or spirit guardians, which are supposed to be separate types of beings. We're going to see what happens. See if we can get some answers. I did find I want to share it with you, actually. I found a method of confronting and expelling negative attachments, and it's by an exorcist. It's a very formulaic type expulsion of demonic energy or dark energy, negative energy. and I went through it. It's basically like 2 preparation steps and then 5 steps during the process. And I went through that process the night before the trip to Ashmore Estates with the Ghost Brothers. So I went through that the night before. When I was done, as soon, like, I could feel it when I was on the last step. I started feeling drained, and as soon as I was done, I was completely drained. It drained me hardcore, like very powerful drain. And then the next day is when I started having like the extreme issues, and then I had the anxiety on the way to Ashmore Estates. I don't know if like I really pissed something off, like real hardcore. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but trying his method, it felt like it worked to some extent, but it felt like it might have made it worse as well. All right, let's try a recording. What's it look like if I turn this light off? There we go. All right, let's do one here. To any guardians or guides that we have, I ask that you come through and leave us a message. Tell us what's happening. Tell us what you can see from where you are, and how we can attempt to correct any flaws in our energy, any mistakes that I've made. If you're here with us, can you leave me a message on this device now? Oh, I can hear, even without the speaker, I can hear something at the beginning of that. Should have brought a tripod. Alright guys, will you hold the cord? Thank you. Alright, let's just plug it in right there. Thanks guys. There's something right at the beginning. It almost sounds like I'm not a ghost. Here. Yeah, I really should have brought the tripod. Alright, let's try this. I'm going to set y'all here, like we were doing. Check it out. I think it says I'm not a ghost. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. Or I'm not like this. I can hear faint talking right there. All right. Thank you for letting us know that you're here. I'm hoping and directing my energy and communication to any spirit guides or guardians that are with us. Any entities or beings that are here to protect. Potentially any archangels or anybody that's looking over me. Can you tell me what's attached to us or what's attached to this place? Or what kind of energy it is? Can you tell me now? Shannon, I hope you're okay. That's weird. Check it out, guys. I'm hearing like a something or another at the beginning. Like, I can't make it. It's too faint, but okay. Let's see if we can dig down deep within ourselves and get an answer on here. To the Spirit that's within me, to the Holy Spirit, to the Holy Spirit within our epic research squad. Answer us, tell us, warn us, or show us what we need to hear, see, think, and feel. Tell us now into this recorder, into the red light. That was kind of long. There's a noise on there. It sounds like I'll hear and then that noise. It's like that's what I'm hearing. All right, let's refocus here. So, guys, I do want to say I know that sticking with me during this has probably been really tough, but thank you. During these times, during the roughest times, during the toughest times, that's when things get the most interesting. That's when, if we can push just a little bit further, we can really uncover some deep stuff. So, I know the lack of streams, the lack of sessions might be disheartening at first, but I think we might really be on the cusp of something. The trick is to not lose our minds while finding it. I guess that's always been the trick, huh? I love you guys. Thank you all for being so incredibly lit all the time. It means the world. I really do think that I think Hans Holzer had it right in his original prediction of what spirits are, that there are ghosts, which are residual energies or imprints or repeats of the past. There are spirits, intelligent beings that have the ability to communicate or interact if they so desire, and they might not be human. And then there's the third one. He said, I can't remember it. What the heck's wrong with me? I've been studying a lot of Hans Holzer's research, and along with what he found, I do believe it's obvious. If you can hear the girls, it's their dinner time. I do believe that there are potentially other civilizations or existences that are coming through trying to send messages either for help or out of desperation or just to make contact. Like sometimes it feels like there's a group investigating the office up there or looking to reach me, and it doesn't feel like they're dead per se. Oh yeah, stay behinds. That's the other one. Spirits, ghosts, and stay behind. Stay behinds. And stay behinds are like intelligent ghosts. They're people who have chosen to stay behind and that are human and that are either they become stuck here or there's something they're trying to finish. That's right. So that was driving me crazy. Spirits, ghosts, and stay behinds. But regardless, I do think there is something besides, just regular ghosts or humans that have passed on and their residual energy is still here. Like, I think there's something else, and I think we're being led to it. And I think the phone call that my mom got, and then subsequent, like, I don't know if you all have seen Laura Wells posting, but she sent me that I showed you guys the phone call she received, where she was getting clear alien sound and voices coming through. There's something potentially really big that might happen, and maybe 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 that's the source of like anxiety. One of the things that people have been talking to me a lot about lately is UFOs and aliens, and that's something that has always scared the crap out of me. Like, ever since I was a kid, and it got like scarier as I was a teenager, based on different like dreams and nightmares and just weird experiences. It also feels like the term alien, I mean, is probably like a broad term. Like, there's obviously like extraterrestrial aliens. There's probably interdimensional aliens. And this is getting way out there, but I think that this is what it's leading to, or it's what's been attempted to be shown to me my whole life. When I first started, I had an idea of making a humanoid body that was super lightweight and its movements could be triggered by slight EMF, static, and temperature fluctuations, giving a spirit the ability to like move a body around. And there would be red lights all over it, so if there was any kind of fluctuation in EMF, static, temperature, a red light would go off, so you would see this humanoid shaped thing glow red. And then I thought, if it could learn to take control of this body and it started just going wild and doing like crazy things, and if it committed crimes or something, who would be held responsible? Like, and I was thinking that's where it probably gets real dangerous as far as the spirit side goes. If you could give a spirit some type of vessel to go through life, I'm sure it would not end well. I'm absolutely sure it would not end well. But when you start talking about aliens or interdimensional beings, cross-dimensional beings, and the possibility of A, making contact, and then B, bringing them through, I don't know. That's where it gets a little much. Also, the research that CERN is doing, like, I know from the scientific community standpoint, they think, it's all pure physics, pure subatomic particles, just pure research. Yet there's an obvious spiritual overtone, especially with all their ceremonies and the way they celebrate and the way they talk about their experiments there. Guys, I think we are not just our research, but on the grand scheme of things, I think we are right on the edge of reality. And that's why so many insane things can happen. Things that you never thought could happen, you can make happen. Anyone can make happen. And I think it's because we're on the edge of reality. And I think places like CERN and different things we've done have pushed it. But also the fact that God is able to make anything happen too. We have two different things going. Our ability to understand the universe plus God's infinite ability to manipulate the universe, and our ability to reach God and the universal energy, plus the science side of it where it's ripping apart that energy. We are creating a reality where literally anything can happen. And it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make any sense at all. That's not the kind of reality we live in. We don't live in a reality where everything has to happen based on certain rules. Most things do, but there is a large part that just ignores the rules entirely. And whenever you have an exception to the rule, I think that, especially exceptions to rules of physics, I think that alone proves that we live in a reality where anything and everything can and will happen. And I think right now we are on the verge of something big happening. And I think it's not just our existence. I think it's going to be cross-dimensional. And I think we're getting way, way, way close to that. We just have to be ready for it. I don't know how you'd possibly be ready for it besides research, and I don't know, but absolutely anything could happen. Yeah, the Large Hadron Collider. So those that don't know, what they do is they send subatomic particles around a giant. It's like either 17 or 34 miles long. I can't remember. It's either 17 miles long or 34 miles. But either way, it's the largest hadron collider in the world, and they send these subatomic particles going at the speed of light around this track, and they collide them into each other. And when they do that, they literally rip apart the fabric of the universe. And that's their whole point. That's their goal, because they want to study what comes out of that, what's beyond the universe, what, like when you make a rip in the universe, what's there. And that's what they're studying. They've got it down to where they can send quarks, those super subatomic particles, around and make them explode. They also were able to send one of the subatomic particles around the track faster than the speed of light from it jumping through a wormhole. So when the original reports came out, it showed that the particle itself went around the track faster than the speed of light, which is supposed to be impossible. Then they came out with a statement saying, oh, actually, it was a wormhole. The subatomic particle jumped through a wormhole to get to the end of the track. Then about 4 or 5 years later, recently, within the past year or so, they came out with a correction saying, oh, it was just bad data. After all that time, and the Chinese lab, the Chinese counterpart, had verified it, and multiple labs in the U.S. verified the data. It wasn't bad data. It wasn't. It was good data. But they had to backtrack and correct themselves from putting that information out there. Summer Lit Girl, what up, Summer? G-Man, what up, G-Man? Yeah, and supposedly they have claimed to have found the God particle as well. Lightning Bear Grizz, what up, Grizz? Jane, there's a good chance she either would or she would jump through a wormhole and become infinite. So I don't know. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, Jane. Might make infinite mother-in-laws. I really wonder who the people, guys, like there is photos of people working on the CERN laboratory from like the 50s. And it's kind of weird. It's like a freaking Mandela effect, because CERN's a recent thing, but apparently construction has been going on it for almost 100 years, which is, it makes me wonder, like, who was in charge of making it happen? Deblet, you said, what about that crater that's been burning on its own for 42 years? Is it a portal to hell? Well, check this out. There's a handful of places on Earth where they call them infinite pits, and animals are terrified of these infinite pits. There's one in Europe where they used to take prisoners and people they didn't like, and for punishment they would throw people down this infinite pit. And they said sometimes their bodies would be thrown back up out of the pit, and just crazy stuff would happen. Animals didn't want to go anywhere near the pit. People said that they would see from a distance, they'd see huge shadow things come out of it, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And so in order to block off the pit, they decided to build a castle on top of it to distract people, to be like, hey, there's nothing here. You can't come to this castle, though. And the castle was literally built just to cover up the pit. So the castle is just super weird on the inside. It's not meant for anyone to live there. It's literally like a shell, and there's just weird stuff in there. Now they let people come there and investigate and stuff, but the stories are absolutely insane. What they started doing to test the pit before they built the castle was they would tie animals up like on these ropes and levers and pulley systems and lower them down in there and then bring them back up. I can't remember the exact story, but something would always happen to the animals. Like they would turn to babies or something, or they would come back up. They'd go down there like not pregnant at all, and they would come up pregnant, and just absolutely weird stuff with this pit. There's an article on it on the Week in Weird website, and there's numerous articles on the internet about it. It's the article on Week in Weird. I think it's called an actual portal to hell. But think about this: if those places exist on the planet, not in like some other world or some other dimension, if they exist on the planet and you could put something down in there, bring it back up, and it's pregnant, or and if you also there was a lot of times like if they put a person down there, they lowered a prisoner down there and then brought him back up, and he had aged over 100 years. He went from being like a young guy to being way super old, just lowering him down and bringing him back up. He had like white hair, all his skin had shrunk in, and there's tons of crazy stories about this. And if that can exist on this planet, then that means that there are doorways and portals and whatever you want to call it that do exist for sure. Here's something else to think about that not many people really grasp all the way. The United States government has footage of a craft flying faster than humanly possible using anti-gravity technology. It was leaked by some guy who used to work at the Department of Defense, and I'm sure you all have seen it by now. It was all over the news, everywhere, all over YouTube, everyone posting it, because it's high definition footage from the United States military when they were tracking this object. So a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, U.S. government has UFO footage, whatever. And yeah, and they admitted it. Good point, Siri. But this proves that there is anti-gravity technology and technology that can travel as fast as the speed of light, if not faster. And more people aren't talking about that. This proves that anti-gravity technology can and will exist at some point if we're not entirely wiped out before then. Because it already does exist, just not for us personally. But somewhere in our existence, there are beings and crafts that do actually possess anti-gravity technology and some kind of propulsionless drive system, propulsionless engines and whatnot. So that does exist, and there is high definition footage of it existing. Like I was saying, guys, we're on the verge of something big. Either we're all dreaming and this is about to get way crazy, it's about to be a way crazy dream, or something big's about to happen. I don't know, or both. Either way. Alright, guys, I tell you what, let's do one more EVP here after talking about all that craziness and see if any of our spirit guides would like to respond in earnest about what we're saying. This time I'm going to hit record and set it down. Alright, I don't know why I did that, because usually the EVP is just at the beginning, so we're probably not going to hear anything throughout the rest of it. Whoa. Was that a help me right there? Listen. Right there. Right there. Whoa. So guys, I'm going to close it out there. So what I'm going to do in the future is have Siri, you heard please. Shannon, you heard help me. What I'm going to do in the future is more talks like this on specific subjects, but also we're going to start reviewing some footage that hasn't been released yet, some really dope footage that has a lot of good evidence on it. I think it's going to be lit. I think it's going to be lit. I do have to clear out that office. I think what I'm going to do is take every object out of there, sage it, open up Windows, let it Windows be open for like 24 hours, paint it. I just got to do something to it. I just got to do something to it. But we're going to do more stuff like this together. And I think it's going to be pretty lit. All right, I love you guys. Thank you all for sticking with me cuz like I said, when the going gets tough, the tough gets super interesting if you can get through it. And so I think I can get through it. I hope you all can get through it with me. It's going to be weird, it's going to be tough, it's going to be strange, it's going to be odd, but I think what's on the other side of this is some very super valuable information or some very super valuable experience that we're all going to have. So thank you for sticking with me. I love y'all so much. Stay awesome, stay lit, stay tuned, stay epic. For real. You're the best.